And we're live. Wow. Hi everyone. This is Liv. It's been a while since I have done uh, a show on my channel here. But I'm looking to be doing a lot more of these because I've left PVN, the Populous Voice Network, and I'm looking to go a little more solo now with my own channel, my Patreon, and my family. So I guess we'll see if we get any viewers. I'm excited to see who shows up. Um, so I will put Live at Romano is my Twitter, is my Venmo, is my Fansly. Um, and that's the best way you can get in contact with me, is by following me on Twitter and DMing me. And also, you can private message me on Fansly, and we can set up private pics, videos, and sexting sessions. I will put a link to my Fansly in the, let's see, in the chat. I'm currently running a limited time offer to subscribe for 3, or 6 months for 40% off. And here we go. I got the link. Oh, we have one viewer. Hi, one viewer. How are you? This is my Fansly that I just put in the chat. That is where you can find me, where I'm doing my sex work. And I just started a new tier, the triple X tier, where I'll be posting nudes and videos as well. So yeah. That's my Fansly. Again, at Liv Romano is also my Twitter. That's the best way to get in contact with me. So, yeah, where to start? Where to start? It's been a while. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm in our new home in an RV trailer at an RV park in Abingdon, Maryland. We moved in on February 1st. Definitely the easiest move I've ever done, because all the big furniture was already in here, so that's great. And really only was one trip. I did my car, and then my dad had his girlfriend's van, and we filled that up. We filled my car up, and we brought it all to the RV, and the place we bought it from, Camping World, delivers it to the spot within 200 miles from their location. So we got it delivered here. So it kind of worked out because we were originally supposed to work. We were originally supposed to move into the RV on January 24th. But when we pulled up to the site, which we were going to also be at a different site, we were going to be at a more expensive and not as nice campground in Lothian, Maryland. And we pulled up to the site, and we got a call that the truck that was supposed to be delivering the RV had broken down and was going to be in the shop till at least Thursday. So we thought, they said like maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, probably Thursday. They didn't really know, but they said it was probably going to be in the shop till the latest Thursday. And then we ended up hearing back later that week that no, the truck is still in the shop, and it's gonna be more like the following Tuesday. So it finally worked out, and during that time that the truck was in the shop, we heard back from this the campground we're at now, and they said they have an availability, and we jumped on it. We came and looked at the campground, and we were like, wow, this is amazing, and we should snatch this up. So I definitely can make a whole other video about RV living with finding sites and everything, and some of the stuff that we were thinking of doing, or I'm still thinking of doing, for putting this RV. Yeah, I'll probably do a whole other episode on that. But yeah, otherwise, we've finally moved in. We're all settled, all unpacked. My boys love it. My two kitties have an amazing cat tower. Zulu has a good amount of room to run around. He's right next to me on the ground right now on his bed. We all sleep in bed very comfortably together. Definitely still adjusting. Our first night in the RV, a fuse blew, or two fuses blew, and we were out without heat. Oh, we have another viewer. Hi, other viewer. Totally put yourself in the comments if you want. I would love to chat with you. Ask me any questions. I want to make this as interactive as possible. So, let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, lost you. Oh, yeah. So what else? Oh yeah. So we were out without heat the first night. And then in the morning we were gonna we tried a bunch of things that night and it didn't work out. So we were just gonna call the place Camping World in the morning. And in the morning my dad was able to figure out that what needed to be fixed was just replacing the fuse lights on the panel. So I was really grateful for his help. It also made me a little worried about feeling a little overwhelmed with all this stuff. And then what's today? Yeah, yesterday. My partner was here, which is a whole other part to update y'all on. I am dating someone now. And he was staying the night, and we were both pretty cold. But I was like, oh, I don't know. We're naked. We're probably just, cold because of that. And we woke up. I woke up at 6 a.m. Sunday morning to walk or let out my neighbor's dogs because I'm starting a dog walking animal care co-op in this new campground. And hello, new viewer. Hi. Well, please let me know if you have any questions. Put it in the comments. I'm just talking about updating y'all on what's been going on in my life right now, which is we just moved into an RV. We're getting settled. And we're adjusting to RV life. So yeah, it was freezing cold. And I was like, wow, I can see my breath. That's okay. It's definitely cold. Let me turn up the thermostat. The thermostat was working on the first time, the heat went out. And the fuse blew. The thermostat was blinking. This time I was able to set it. So I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's freezing right now. And then in the morning, or after 6 a.m., or once I finally got out at 10 a.m., I called my dad and asked him what he thought it might be. And he said it was probably the propane tanks. So thank God, my partner Brian was here because he actually went and filled up the propane tanks for me, while I went and got my new tattoo. Yeah, because I had a tattoo appointment yesterday, so I was in a rush. And I wouldn't have been able to go if it wasn't for Brian, who watched animals and went and got the propane tanks filled. So I'm very grateful. So yeah, that brings me to who this person is, Brian. So we've been following each other for a while on Twitter, I think. Probably a few months now, 3 months. And I thought he was very cute because he has a very cute profile picture. And I really like his bio, which is, I'll read it to y'all. Hello. Oh, so got off place. Okay, he's Brian Bro on Twitter. And his bio is some emojis, and then Bernie Bros on 16, voted green in 16, and 20, eco-socialist, vegan, refuse plastic, minimalist, and the duopoly, and save the planet. And he's in New Jersey. And I so we kind of had a Twitter crush on each other for a while. And 3 weeks ago, I tweeted that I was looking for maybe a friends with benefits type thing, and someone to help me with my sex work, with my work on Fansly. And I did, so I tweeted that, and I got a good response, and Brock responded. Because I hadn't reached out before because I didn't know if he was single or not. So I tweeted that about looking for a friends with benefits and someone to make content with. And he responded that he would definitely give it a shot. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot my shot at this. And I DM'd him and said, hey, I know you're a little far away, but I definitely love to hang out sometime if you're willing to. And he it was just instant connection. And really, we've been talking ever since. That was like 3 weeks ago. So again, I was supposed to move into the RV on the 24th. And then when that didn't happen, because he said he had wanted to come down and see me. And when it ended up that we were not moving into the RV, Zulu and I went to go see him in New Jersey. And we just had an amazing time. It was really great. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. I really was not expecting, neither of us were expecting it to go that well. But things just really clicked. And we've been talking ever since. He just came this weekend to come stay at the RV. I have a photo shoot this weekend, a professional photo shoot for my Fansly that I'll be doing on Saturday in Pennsylvania. And then either I'll head to New Jersey Saturday night and go see Brian, and I will be spending Valentine's Day with one for the first time in 6 years. And not that I care about Valentine's Day, it's just funny. Like, I was getting my nails done today, and I was like, can you do a design? He's like, you want something for Valentine's Day? And my gut instinct was like, no, I don't want anything to do with Valentine's Day. But yeah, I might do something special for Valentine's Day for not just necessarily for us, but for my Fansly, that he will help me with. He's very supportive of my sex work, which I am very grateful for, and does not judge it at all. So I am just really pleasantly surprised at how well this has worked out with this guy, this man. There's a bit of an age difference, but I don't think age really matters after 21 years old. So I've always preferred older men. And I've tried dating men my age. I've tried dating men a few years older. I've tried dating men 10 years older. And it's just never worked out. And this one seems to be working. So, fingers crossed, knock on my head. So we'll see how this goes. I'm interested. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. It feels too good to be true. But I'll take it. I'm really excited. I'm really happy with how this worked out. He's a great guy. Like, yesterday when I had this tattoo appointment, and it was an hour away. And then the whole thing itself took like 4 hours, and then I had an hour drive back, and he was just with my animals the whole time, took Zulu on a walk, to the propane tanks, got blunt wraps, rolled blunts for me to have when I got back. And I just I don't know. I've never had someone treat me this well before. So I'm getting used to it. I should be better about getting people to treat me the way I treat them, and reciprocating. But it's just, I've been let down so many times. Yeah, it's very surprising. But anyways, so yeah, that's been working out really well. You'll see more of him. He was on my last episode of the Populous Voice Network. I will probably have him on one of these shows sometime. to let y'all know a little bit about him. He's really interesting. Not only does he have a really interesting past, but what he does now as a leftist is really, really interesting. With his like minimalism, reducing plastic, his diet. He's very active about signing petitions and calling representatives and stuff like that. And really also is like for burning the system down. And doesn't see any good with the system that we have right now. And I don't know, all the good things. I'm really, really, really happy. And I'll keep you all updated. Again, he'll probably be on a show soon. So, let me know what questions y'all have. Okay, what else to talk about? Well, I would love to know who my viewers are. If you want to, say hello in the comments, I don't bite. I would love to, talk to you and have you ask me questions. I can talk for anything. I'm an open book, so ask me anything. Okay, let me see. So some stuff I wanted to talk about today, besides just kind of updating y'all about my life, was some of the stuff that's been happening in just across in the world lately. I was just getting my nails done and was reminded that the Olympics are happening right now, because that was what was on. And when I came back home, I saw that on Twitter, Genocide Olympics was trending. So I've been hearing about this. I'm probably going to say this wrong and I apologize. The Uyghur genocide that is being publicized, that's happening in China right now. But I've heard the corporate stream media stories about this, or at least seen the headlines of them on Twitter, which is where I get all my news, because I stopped watching cable and corporate stream media back in 2017, no, not that. 2020. I stopped watching cable and mainstream media, corporate stream media, and started getting all my news from Twitter. So yeah, what else? Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. Where was I? Can someone remind me? Genocide Olympics. So there was something I saw on Twitter about how this is propaganda, prompted by the CIA, about this genocide that is apparently happening in China. So, here, let me see. Let me pull up what it was on my phone, and then I will share my screen. Here, it's workers. Here, I'm going to share my screen. Behind the U.S. anti-China campaign, Workers World. So I found this article when I looked up Uyghur Genocide CIA. In order to evaluate the claims of massive human rights violations of the Uyghurs, an ethnic and religious minority in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China, it is important to know a few facts. Xinjiang province in the far western region of China is an arid, mountainous, and still largely underdeveloped region. Xinjiang has significant oil and mineral reserves and is currently China's largest natural gas producing region. It is home to a number of diverse ethnic groups, including Turkic-speaking Muslim Uyghurs, Tibetans, Tajiks, Hu, and Han peoples. Xinjiang's borders central Xinjiang borders 5 Central Asian countries, including Afghanistan and Pakistan, where more than 1 million U.S. troops and even more mercenaries, contractors, and secret agents have operated for 4 decades in an endless U.S. war. What is happening in Xinjiang today must be seen in the context of what has been happening throughout Central Asia. Xinjiang is a major logistics center for China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. Xinjiang is the gateway to Central and West Asia, as well as to European markets. The Southern Xinjiang Railway runs to the city of Kashgar in China's far west, where it's now connected to Pakistan's rail network under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a project of the BRI. The U.S. government is deeply hostile to this vast economic development project and is doing all it can to sabotage China's plans. This campaign is part of the U.S. military's pivot to Asia, along with the naval threats in the South China Sea and support for separatist movements in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Tibet. So this says there's no UN report on the Xinjiang situation. Saying no, the UN did not report China has massive internment camps for Uyghur Muslims, cited by the Gray Zone on August 23rd, 2018. They exposed how this widely publicized claim is based entirely on unsourced allegations by a single member, Gay McDougall, on an independent committee with an official sounding name, UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. The UN Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights has confirmed that no UN body or official has made such a charge against China. This is what I was talking about with the connection to the CIA. After this fraudulent news story received wide coverage, it was followed by reports from the Washington-based network of Chinese human rights defenders. This group receives most of its funds from U.S. government grants, primarily from the CIA-linked National Endowment for Democracy, a major source for funding for U.S. regime change operations around the world. The network of Chinese human rights defenders shares the same Washington address as Human Rights Watch. The HRW has been a major source of attacks on governments targeted by the U.S., such as Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, Syria, and China. The network has long called for sanctions against China. CHRD's sources include Radio Free Asia, a news agency funded for decades by the U.S. government. The World Uyghur Congress, another source of sensationalized reports, is also funded by NED. The same U.S. government funding is behind the International Uyghur Human Rights and Democracy Foundation and the Uyghur American Association. The authors of the Gray Zone articles cite years of detailed IRS filing forms to back up their claim. They list millions of dollars in generous government funding to generate false reports. This whole network of supposedly impartial civil society groups, non-governmental organizations, think tanks, and news sources operates under the cover of human rights to promote sanctions and war. CIA-funded terror, further elaborating on the CIA link to this whole thing. Central Asia has experienced the worst forms of U.S. military power. Beginning in 1979, the CIA operated with the ISI, Pakistani Intelligence Service, and Saudi money, funded and equipped reactionary Mujahideen forces in Afghanistan to bring down a revolutionary government there. The U.S. cultivated and promoted extreme religious fanaticism based on Saudi Arabia against progressive secular regimes in the region. This reactionary force was also weaponized against the Soviet Union and an anti-imperialist Islamic current represented by the Iranian Revolution. For 4 decades, the CIA and secret Pakistan ISI forces in Afghanistan sought to recruit and train Uyghur mercenaries, planning to use them as a future terror force in China. Chechenians from Russia's Caucasus region, were recruited for the same reason. Both groups were funneled into Syria in the U.S. regime change operation there. These fanatical religious forces, along with other small ethnic groups, form the backbone of the Islamic State group IS and Al-Qaeda. After September 11, 2001 World Trade Center bombing, the very forces that the U.S. secret operations had helped create became the enemy. Uyghurs from Xinjiang were among the Al-Qaeda prisoners captured in Afghanistan and held in the U.S. prison at Guantanamo for years without charges. legal appeals exposed that the Uyghur prisoners were being held there under some of the worst conditions in solitary confinement. So I'll stop there. And again, I will say this is from workersworld.org behind the U.S. anti-China campaign. Okay, so that is about pretty much debunking the whole thing about genocide Olympics and the fact that there is a Uyghur genocide happening. This to me really seems to be more of the U.S. trying to perpetuate this propaganda, anti-China propaganda, to deflect from the genocide America is imposing, and doing on all sorts of everyone that basically isn't the 1%. And that's happening right here on American soil with the genocide of indigenous peoples from the time that this that North America was invaded. Genocide began there and has not stopped. It continues now with poisoning water, food, building pipelines through land, not honoring treaties. Flint still doesn't have clean water. And that's just one of the many examples of cities in America that don't have clean water. What else? The concentration camps at the borders right now, kids in cages. The forced sterilization happening, that's continued to happen on indigenous women, and black women, black men, and people who are disabled. That's continuing to happen right now, this genocide that America is perpetuating. So, to me, if this is all coming out of US-backed sources, this seems to be, I was really skeptical of it to begin with, based on the sources that I was seeing that it was promoting the Uyghur genocide. So, remember to do your own research. It's, we have power of information at our fingertips. So I just did a quick Google search and I was able to go through a lot of different articles that some were pro-Uyghur genocide and promoting that, and they were in line with corporate stream media propaganda, anti-China propaganda. And then I found more individual journalists to set the story straight about what has been happening there. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. There's also, besides the Olympics happening right now, there was something else I really wanted to talk about. Let me see if I go on Twitter. It will jog my memory. Let me see what is on Twitter right now. Yep, a lot of stuff about the Olympics. Yep. A lot of stuff about the Olympics. Okay, yep. This was the next thing. Ukraine. What is happening in Ukraine? It feels like we are on the verge of war with Russia. Again, the US military industrial complex, part of the white supremacy based capitalism and imperialism dominated by the patriarchy that is the US regime. That imperialism component is key to maintaining the US empire. So being continually at war with someone, exploiting that area for resources that we already know are harming us and our environment, that is all going down right now. And I'll read some things off Twitter if y'all haven't heard enough about what's going on right now. They said, let's see. Oh, here, let me go. Let me just pull up my Twitter right now. Share my screen. My Twitter. Oops. All right, wait a minute. Home. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So this is what Twitter says. Diplomatic efforts between Ukraine, Russia, and international leaders continued on Monday as Germany announced it will boost troop deployment in Lithuania, AFP reports. This comes ahead of a meeting at the White House between U.S. President Joe Biden and Olaf Scholz, the new Chancellor of Germany, for the two pillars of the transatlantic alliance to reaffirm their strong commitment to NATO and Ukraine, the LA Times reports. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron flew to Moscow on Monday for a face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The situation is now too complicated to expect decisive changes after one meeting, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said at a press briefing, according to NBC News. A very, very tense atmosphere remains, he said. So here's some other things. After meeting with the leader of Germany, President Biden said on Monday that a lucrative gas pipeline project connecting Russia and Germany would not go forward if Moscow invades Ukraine. So basically threatening. Here, this is another one. Jake Tapper did well to push Olaf Scholz to openly say Germany can NS2 if Russia invades Ukraine. It remains astounding that Germany wouldn't come out and say it. I get needing to preserve options in different constituencies, but man, it's fueled an image problem. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Washington Examiner, Biden told reporters the Russian invasion of Ukraine will be best solved through diplomatic resolutions, adding that he and Scholz agree that doesn't mean business as usual, whatever that means. War is business as usual to these people. Let's see. I guess Macron is getting in the middle of this. And this is really about maintaining NATO and reinforcing NATO on the US's part. If Russia really wants less NATO close to the borders, they get the opposite. Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said, revealing NATO is considering a long-term presence in Eastern Europe to strengthen its defenses. Routers. If Russia invades Ukraine, there will be no Nord Stream 2, Biden says. Yep. So, it feels again as though we are on the verge of war with Russia, or at least that is what corporate stream media is making it out to be. They again are probably trying to do this like with the propaganda of the Uyghur genocide to distract us from American problems that are happening on American soil that people are contributing to. We need to be we need to be focused. We need to not allow ourselves to get distracted right now. We need to be able to think about solutions forward and how to get this revolution going. So for what I'm doing for my part is I've been really involved with mutual aid. Today I did a mutual aid run to Baltimore to distribute bottled waters, umbrellas, and cash. And I saw some of my old friends that I knew, some familiar faces that I know their names, and I met some new friends. And I got to know their names. So I am trying to build a mutual aid network in Baltimore and connect it with some other already established resources. I've been meaning to talk to, it's just been on hold because I'm sure he's really busy, but Rome with the Revolutionary Blackout Network. I am collaborating with him for Tour for the Poor and expanding it here on the East Coast, which is very, very exciting. So really, really looking forward to that because it's just crazy how much things have changed in the span of a year, where a year ago I didn't even know about mutual aid, and now I'm collaborating for it with one of my role models. So it's crazy, you know. If you've been wanting to get involved, but you haven't been sure how, you know, just do it. Just get involved. Just do whatever you're comfortable doing, whatever you feel you're most comfortable with. And just get out there and get involved, because I just realized I was holding myself back, and I kept hoping someone could lead me in the right direction. And, you know, reaching out to people and asking questions, I was able to, but I was able to take the initiative myself in my own community to start working on mutual aid. And like I am here with my new home, at the RV park. I'm starting, a dog walking animal care co-op. So, I'm really excited about that, because I think that's, a really great way to help revolutionize people and get to meet some really cute animals. So I'm really excited about it. So we'll see what else comes about that. I was also thinking of like a babysitting co-op. I've been babysitting for years, so I thought that would be really great. So, well, yeah, we'll see. There's so many things you can do to get involved. That's just what I've done that I was most comfortable with, that I felt I could do the best. All of those things. Also, open recommendations. Please tell me what else I can be doing to help, what I can do to be a better ally. Always looking for more feedback. So thank you so much. Well, if y'all don't have any questions, then I might call it a stream and end it here. Thank you so much, one viewer, for bearing with me this time. I appreciate you. I see you. Thank you. You can follow me on Twitter at liv_Romano. Follow me on Fansly it's free. Subscribe for a limited time offer for 1, 2, 3, or 6 months on my Fansly for 40% off. Or also there's a new subscription tier, the XXX subscription tier, which you can subscribe to right now for nudes and videos. So thank y'all so much. I will do this again soon. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share. Thank y'all so much. Bye.